Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. All right. So today we are having our all recovery meeting, and so bear with me as I try to link everybody else on the other network that we share. All right. Look like we're in business. We're in business. Welcome, everybody. Once again, I am Craig, your recovery coach. And today I'm bringing you some exciting information dealing with recovery. All right. And so today we're going to be talking about the stages of change model of overcoming addiction. All right. The stages of change model of overcoming addiction. This is our all recovery support group, and just excited to be in here. So this article is brought to us by verywellmind.com. Once again, this article is brought to us by verywellmind.com. And so let's get right into it. So the article says the stages of change or trans-theoretical model is a way of describing the process by which people overcome addiction. All right? We're talking about stages of change. The stages of change can be applied to a range of other behaviors that people want to change, but have difficulty doing so. But it is most well recognized for success in treating people with addiction. The reason I chose this topic because there are five stages of change that people in addiction deal with, and so I want to touch on what are those five stages, and so we'll get into it, see what the article has to say about these five stages of change. This model was developed from research looking at how change occurs in natural recovery from addictions. It has been embraced by health care providers seeking to move away from confrontational and pathological approaches toward motivational and person-centered approaches, such as motivational interviewing. All right. And so we're talking about the five stages of change. Well, in this article, we're going to talk about the four stages of change from what I see here. And that is, let's see, four stages of change. The article says there are four main stages. There are four main stages of change. All right, we got somebody logging in. Liz Gray. Wow. Welcome, Liz. Welcome. All right. And we're talking about today, as you can see, it's scrolling across the screen, Miss Liz. We're talking about, oh boy, what happened here? Oh, let's see if I get everything back in order. The stages of change model of recovering, addiction, all recovery support systems. So we're talking right now, we're dealing with the topic of four stages of change. There are four main stages in this model: pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, and action. Maintenance and relapse are also sometimes included as additional stages. All right. And so I'm familiar with all five, but this article for today's topic only deals with the four stages of change. These stages can be represented as a cycle. And in theory, people should go through these stages in sequence. In reality, people can jump around between stages, go backward and forward, and even move and even be in more than one stages at a time. We're talking about five stages of change. Some people it may take a little bit more encouraging, so they may be in the first stage of pre-contemplation, and then they may be moving forward to the contemplation, et cetera, right? It says the sequence model provides a useful way of understanding the process of change and gives a structure to how changes in addictive behaviors can be encouraged and managed. All right. So the first one we want to talk about, and that is the pre-contemplation stage. That's the first stage of change. Pre-contemplation is the first stage in the stages of change model of addiction and behavioral change. Hello, what? Good. All right. People in the pre-contemplation stage typically do not consider their behavior to be a problem. Most people in their first, when you first approach someone, I know when I was younger, someone asked me, or my parent, my mom, she would say, "Are you smoking marijuana? Are you getting high?" No, I'm not getting high. I just be around people who smoke sometimes to get on me, to manipulate, manipulation, mind altering substance, and all that good stuff. This may be because they have not yet experienced any negative consequences of their behavior. People in the pre-contemplation stage typically do not consider their behavior to be a problem. This may be because they have not yet experienced any negative consequences of their behavior, or it may be a result of denial about the negativity or severity of the consequences they have experienced. When people are in the pre-contemplation stage, they are often not very interested in hearing about negative consequences. I don't want to hear that. I'm good. I can handle myself. Or advice to quit their addiction. People in this stage usually experience their addictive behavior as a positive or pleasant experience. However, negative consequences do eventually affect people engaging in addictive behaviors. Let me read that again. People in this stage usually experience their addictive behavior as a positive or pleasant experience. However, on the flip side, negative consequences do eventually affect people engaging in addictive behaviors. These negative consequences can push the individual into contemplation stage. All right. And that's the next one that we want to talk about, the contemplation stage. So it says, yeah, you may feel, a pleasant state event, that you're having a good time, and then you don't want to hear all the negative consequences talk until something negative happens. And so when that do occur, most likely, it pushes people, or it pushes me, or a person like myself, into the contemplation stage. And what is the contemplation stage? The word contemplation, from the article, it says the word contemplation essentially means to consider or think about something deeply. In the context of the stages of change model of addiction and behavioral change, contemplation refers to the stage at which the person engaging in the addictive behavior begins to think about changing, cutting down, moderating, or quitting the addictive behavior. Someone at the contemplation stage is generally more open to receiving information about the possible consequences of their addictive behavior. They may be open to learning about different strategies for controlling or quitting the addictive behavior without committing to a specific approach or even promising to make a change. All right. You see, one was in the denial stage. Now I'm good until, things start to add up, consequences of my behavior. I start to have second thoughts. You know what? I might want to quit. I might want to cut back. I might, be open to some suggestion. All right. People with addictions may be in the contemplation stage for many years. From here, they may move forward to the next phase, the preparation stage, or they may move back to the pre-contemplation stage. It all depends. Contemplation typically benefits from non-judgmental information, giving, and motivational approaches to encourage change rather than confrontational methods. All right, so a lot of times people will push back if you come up too aggressively, over aggressively about making a decision at a given time. So it says motivational or encouragement or love is one of the best approaches to assisting someone from moving from contemplation stage to contemplation. Now we're going to talk about the next one, and that is preparation stage of change. The preparation stage of the stages of change, trans-theoretical model means a person has moved forward to planning and preparing for carrying out changes they learned about in the contemplation stage. When substance addictions, thorough and thought out, preparation can be important to success. Okay, during the preparation stage, a person might, number one, person might plan the kind of change to be made. Right. So now we're talking about the preparation stage. Do you intend to cut down, reduce harm, or quit completely? Number two, determine how to make the change. For example, if you intend to cut down on cigarette smoking, how much should you reduce your smoking by? These are thought processes of preparation. You have given it some thought. You say, well, you know what? I normally smoke a pack a day, a pack of cigarettes. Instead of smoking 20, let me cut down to 15. I ain't gonna smoke the whole pack. Next day, I might try to cut down to just 5, and sort, et cetera, et cetera. So it says during the preparation stage, the person might, number 3, obtain necessary resources. The person might obtain necessary resources. For example, if you intend to use nicotine patches to stop smoking, you will need to research the most suitable type of patch. Discuss a suitable dose with your physician. Many people do not use strong enough patches and end up experiencing cravings and actually purchase supplies of patches. And so, as always, we recommend that you always seek a professional person in your recovery and your medical advice. Always seek that from a professional person. And whether it be for residential treatment, always seek a counselor. Whether you're dealing with mental health, a therapist, whatever it may be, always seek professional help because these people are qualified. Some of them may be overqualified. However, seek professional help. Let's talk about another way of preparing to stop a behavior. It says get rid of triggers. This is very important. We talked about cravings, now we're talking about triggers. Triggers are reminders of your addiction that can cause cravings and make it hard to avoid addictive behaviors. Triggers could include ashtrays and lighters for a smoker, or pornography for someone with a sexual addiction. Letting go of these reminders can be difficult, but the process can harden your resolve to overcome your addiction. So if you are facing gambling addiction, you probably wouldn't want to go to a casino. You probably won't have want to have dice or a deck of cards or things of that nature. Now it's technology; they got DraftKings and all that stuff. You might don't want to, you might want to end your subscription of DraftKings. All right. Put support in place. This is very key. Support can include informing friends and family who want you to overcome your addiction, booking a place in detox and or a treatment center, or finding a support group such as this, Capital Recovery Center. It can even mean informing your addiction buddies, such as fellow smokers, of your plans, all right? And a lot of times that may take courage. A lot of times, you don't want to be the one who has looked upon and say, oh man, you ain't no cool, you're not cool no more. You ain't the life of the party. You ain't that same person I used to know. And so you might want to consider letting your buddies know that you're trying to create a plan with a support group, asking them to respect your process and to not engage in addictive behavior around you. And so we're talking about put support in place. There may be many other preparations that need to be made in your specific circumstance, such as finding a clean, safe place to start your new life. If you need help from a counselor or social worker, this is the time to get it. They may also be able to help you with other preparations. Once the necessary preparations have been made, a person is typically ready to move on to the action stage, okay? If you or a loved one are struggling with substance use or addiction, contact the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration, better known as SAMHSA. National hotline, that is the 1-800 number, 662-4357 for information on support and treatment facilities in your area. All right. This is some great information. And so now we want to talk about the next stage. Let's do a recap of the stages of the 4 stages that we're going over. Okay. So there are 4 of them. The first one we went over, the pre-contemplation stage. The second one, that is the contemplation stage. The third one, we just talked about the preparation stage. And the fourth one, that's the action stage. All right? That's the action stage. The action stage is the focus of many people attempting to overcome addiction. This is the stage at which real change of behavior starts happening. In the action stage, when you begin to take action for our behavior, for our consequences, we begin to get in the stage of action. We're ready to get things rolling, moving. We're ready to, get the ball, moving, right? So it says the action stage is typically stressful, but with good preparation, it can also be an exciting time that gives way to new options. For many people, the action stage starts in a detox or treatment center. Here, trained professionals provide support through the early phases of discontinuing an addiction. For others, particularly those whose goals are around moderating or controlling behavior rather than quitting completely, the action stage can be similar to normal life, but with greater restraint and perhaps a greater need for support in other ways of coping with stress, depending on the goals you set in the contemplation stage and the plans you made in the preparation stage. The action stage can occur in small, gradual steps, or it can be a complete life change. All right? The article said the action stage can occur in small, gradual steps, or it can be a complete life change. It may feel strange and even empty to be living life without your addiction. It takes time to get used to life without an addiction, even if your support and alternative ways of coping are good, right? So change for a lot of us, I say us, including myself, is different. It may be difficult. It might be a process, but don't give up. Identifying and developing effective ways of coping with stress are crucial. Let me say that again. This is so crucial. Being able to identify and developing effective ways of coping with stress are crucial during the action stage. This will allow you to effectively move on to the maintenance stage without experiencing the relapse stage. All right. And so we are going to talk about, we're going to share the action stage. All right. It says, excuse me, the maintenance stage. We move from the action stage to the maintenance stage. The maintenance stage of the trans-theoretical model of change is concerned with continuing to achieve the progress that began in the action stage. Now we're talking about maintaining. We don't move all the way from preparation, contemplation, preparation, action. Now we're in the, the nitty gritty. We get down to the nitty gritty, and that is the maintenance stage. All right. And so, and by being in the maintenance stage, it says model of change is concerned with controlling to achieve the progress that began in the action stage. For people with addiction, this means upholding the intentions made during the preparation stage and the behavior introduced in the action stage. This could include staying abstinent from alcohol and drugs, keeping a reduced level of addictive behaviors, sticking to limits such as following a spending plan for compulsive gambling or shopping addiction, continuing to pursue harm reduction goals such as practicing safer sex. The maintenance stage is most challenging after a period of time has eclipsed and the focus on reaching the goal has lost its intensity. People can become complacent at this point, and they may begin to think that a small lapse will make no real difference. Okay, and so a lot of times I know it's often said that we have to stay on top of our recovery, and that our recovery is a lifelong journey. It's not a boring journey. It's a journey that we must continue to self-evaluate the progress that we have made and continue to make, the strides that we are making to achieve new challenges, new goals. And so that is something that that I in recovery look forward to challenge, to move to greater heights and to achieve and to help somebody along the way. It ain't all about me. It's about helping someone else along the way, living by example, showing people, hey, listen, I'm no different from you. I can continue to maintain. I believe that you can do the same and move to even greater heights than I am. So that's the goal. All right. Maintenance can also become difficult when the stress of life catches up with you and the old familiar ways of coping. The addictive behavior resurfaces. This is why it is important to learn new ways of coping with stress during the action stage so that alternative strategies will be available to you during the maintenance stage. So we don't want to get too comfortable in our recovery, whereas, oh, I don't need no meeting. Oh, I don't need to work on myself. Oh, I got this, okay. But there's more than, I like to think and say, there's more than abstaining from drugs and alcohol, because a lot of times there may be other factors that may contribute, that did contribute or could contribute to our addiction behaviors. And that can be, we can have social issues, there can be economic issues, there can be anger issues, there can be frustration in our life, things that we need to continue to work on and modify so that we can, when things arrive, whether it be stress, whether it be confrontational issues, we're able to handle it and deal with it appropriately without picking up any drink or drug. All right? And so the last one we want to talk about, and that is the relapse stage. The relapse stage is sometimes included in the stages of change model. And recognition that a person might have some or even many small lapses or even relapses, periods when the addictive behavior is taken up again before maintenance is achieved. In reality, the outcome of the process of change is highly individual. Some people are able to adjust control drinking, drug use, or addictive behaviors without becoming addicted. For others, abstinence is the only way to keep their addiction under control. Sometimes it is only after several relapses that a person discovers that recovery from an addiction means for them. Okay? And so don't take the risk. My advice, don't take the risk. If you have a lapse, you having thoughts of picking up or using drugs or returning to the old behavior before it turns into a relapse, speak to a professional person. Go to more meetings, whether it be AA or NA. Participate in support groups. Share your stories. Let people know that some of the secrets, some of the thoughts that you may be having. Get it out of your system, and find an accountability person. Okay, whether it be a family member or a friend, a positive person that will give you good advice. And so we are here for you. And Liz, I'm glad that you're on. I'm glad. I hope you're doing much better. I heard you were not feeling well. And so I'm glad to know that you are still with us virtually or in the building. So until the next time, whoever be watching this, I hope you have learned something or take something away and share it with someone. Let somebody know the importance of the stages of change model of overcoming addiction. Until the next time, stay safe. May God bless you.